Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. And hi. Oh, David's here. David's here. It's so nice to see you here, David. I'm glad things are getting better. Okay, so I just thought I would do a quick video before. I've got classes this morning, but I have got about an hour free before I start. And there have been a few little developments in the Riley strain case, so I thought I'd come on and tell you about them and wish you a good morning, etc., or good evening or good afternoon, depending on where you are. So I'm going to tell you that there have been a couple of little developments. Unfortunately, Riley still has not been found, and it's still not looking brilliant, is it? Which reminds me, where's my candle? I'm not very organised this morning. I've not been up that long. I'm only on my second coffee now. So anyway, so let's light the candle, because there are no news about Samantha Murphy. No new news. Cielo, the little 2-year-old who went into the river in Leicester that we've been following, he's still not been found. Anna Knezevich, we don't know what's happened to her. So the candle that I'm lighting is for all the cases that we're doing, and also for any missing people. You know, hopefully they'll be reunited with their family and their friends soon. It must be just awful to have a missing person. You know, is something that's made me realise, as you know, doing true crime, these cases, how awful it must be to have a missing person in your family, someone you love just disappear, just walk out of your life one day and then never come back. And of course, some missing people stay missing for years and years and years. And sometimes their family never get closure on it. So, okay, so we're going to talk about Riley. First of all, as well, I want to say hello to anybody who's watching at home or watching on catch up. Thank you to all of you for subscribing, for liking, for sharing my videos, and special thanks as always to my members. As you know, I'm going on location very soon, so I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to letting the members know where I'm going, and they're going to accompany me on part of the journey as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so let's see. Now, the development, if you like, now the police have released a body cam video. Riley was on body cam that night that he disappeared. The police caught, it turns out now that the police caught him on body cam, and he actually had a brief exchange with a police officer. And that's what we're going to look at, that video. First of all, and then we're going to hear about some strange texts. His last texts, which were, well, a bit strange, probably because he'd had so much to drink or whatever he'd been taking that night. The texts are a little bit strange. Hi, Sally. 3:30 p.m. Oh, 26 degrees Celsius. That's more or less how the weather is here in Spain at the moment. I mean, it isn't at this time. It's 14 degrees here because it's early in the morning here. It's only 8:30. But later, I've been trying to get a bit of sun so that I don't look like, you know, I don't live in Spain. So the last couple of days I've been trying to get a few rays of sun. And this afternoon, after I finish classes, it will probably be maybe not quite as much as 26 degrees, but certainly in the 20s, early 20s. Hi, Kelly. Okay, so let's have a look at this body cam video first. So this will be quite distressing, I think, for his family, not because he doesn't seem in any distress or anything, not because of that reason, but because, you know, I think when quite often, like with Gabby Petito and other videos that we see of people who go missing afterwards, I always think because I want to do it and I'm not even the family, you want to reach into that video and pick them up and sort of pluck them out, because you want to freeze that time when they were okay, when they were alive. That video, that police cam footage of Gabby Petito at the side of the road with that horrible brown laundry. And the police, to be honest, did let Gabby down, in my opinion, because they accepted Brian's word that it was actually Gabby who was the aggressive and violent one. I think the police did miss an opportunity there, but anyway, there's nothing you can do now. But it's quite haunting to see her so distressed, and then to know what happened to her shortly afterwards, isn't it? So, right, let's find this. So this is some body cam that was taken by a police officer of Riley. Now, the police officer wasn't there to, he wasn't, unfortunately, there worrying about Riley's welfare. He was investigating a possible home invasion, I think, or something like that. He was wandering around for a different reason. And then it turns out that he actually did have a brief encounter with Riley. So let's have a look.
All right, welcome back in here to Live and Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue on here on Live Now from Fox. We do want to give you a brief, minor update out of Nashville on the search that continues for the college student that went missing, Riley Strain. The Nashville police releasing just some body cam footage of a brief exchange. Let's listen into this here on Live Now from Fox. You can see the officer and Riley Strain exchange just a brief hello here as the officer was kind of investigating a potential burglary with a car. Let's just listen into this here on Live Now from Fox.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So that policeman obviously can see, I'm sure when Riley saw the policeman, that he started walking a bit straight. You may be really drunk, but you see the police, you don't want any problems with the police. I'm sure when he saw the police, he probably walked a bit straighter and tried to stay, he doesn't seem, he said hello to the policeman. So I know he was obviously very inebriated, or he'd been taking drugs, or whatever he'd been doing. We don't know exactly what he'd been doing. But it was clear on the other footage that we've seen where he's, falling over and going from side to side. It was clear that he was quite, far gone. But on this, he doesn't seem that bad, and he manages to have that sort of brief interchange with the officer. Let's watch it again.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All right, that was basically the entirety of it as the Metro Police have released that body cam footage showing.
So there was no reason. The policeman was probably thinking, oh, there you go, there's a young man, he's been out. I think it was a Friday night, wasn't it? Been out Friday night, he's had a bit too much to drink, but he wasn't, there was no reason for the policeman to be concerned in particular about his welfare. Now, looking at this, is this the river alongside there? I just don't know how he ended up so close to the river. Why did he go by the river? If he did, why did he? Because this is a road, isn't it? Looks like, pretty much a busy road. Why didn't he stay there? Why did he go down to the river? Maybe he wanted to go to the toilet or something, I suppose. Maybe if he got caught short and he thought he wanted to, and he thought he'd get off the main road. Because really, at the end of the day, along this road, it looks pretty, it's lit up, looks pretty safe. But for some reason, he actually went down to the river. Let's just watch that one more time. Oh, that's what I mean. You just want to pluck him out of there and say, Riley, no, get a taxi or something.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All right,
Yeah, he said, I'm good. How are you? So he managed to have that. I know it was a brief interchange, but he did manage to have it. Let's just listen to the end of this video.
That was basically the entirety of it as the Metro Police have released that body cam footage showing a brief encounter between an officer and the college student the night he disappeared. Police, they released it today on Monday, 10 days after the 22-year-old vanished after leaving a downtown bar in Nashville. The exchange happened on Gay Street, south of Woodland Street Bridge. Of course, in the video, Strain is seen on the sidewalk walking past an officer. Just a very, very brief exchange. But of course, this is what we're following here very closely on Live Now from Fox. Any detail that they were holding on to. We're also getting some information from Metro Nashville Police saying this, that no evidence of foul play has surfaced as work continues to locate Riley Strain. On Sunday, Riley's parents met with some of the detective team and received a full briefing on the work being done. They're also shown available video.
So they're still saying, the police, that as far as they know, there's no evidence of foul play has surfaced. But, you know, they said that about Samantha Murphy, didn't they, in the beginning? So the police will say that, and then suddenly they might just arrest someone. You just never know, do you? So no evidence of foul play. They said that about Samantha, didn't they, for at least a week, if not longer, 2 weeks or so. Before they suddenly turned around then and said it looked suspicious and probable she was dead, you know. So maybe no evidence has surfaced yet. Maybe no evidence has surfaced yet, but maybe they've got suspicions. Who knows? So on Sunday evening, Riley's parents, poor Riley's parents, I just cannot imagine, you know, your child goes missing. It don't matter how old he is. If he was 40, it wouldn't be any different. The parents would still be, you know, heartbroken and worried about him. But he's 21 years old. So Riley's parents met with some of the detective team and received a full briefing on the work being done. And they were also shown available video. So it sounds like the police are keeping them in the loop.
Went on to say here on Live Now from Fox that no video has been discovered that shows Riley away from Gay Street after 9:52, that time frame. So this is just a bit of information that we're following very closely here on Live Now from Fox. Of course, we did talk yesterday about police discovering the credit card, the debit card of Riley Strain near the Cumberland River, which goes very, very close to that Broadway bar scene there where he was last.
Yeah, how did he get from there to the river then? Because this is Gay Street of all, and he's got somehow from there to the river, and I'm not sure exactly where the river is in context to this street, but that's where his credit card was found. I think it's suspicious that his credit card was found just on its own. You know, it sounds like somebody had stolen his wallet, because why would his credit card, even if just his wallet could have fallen out of his pocket, but why would his credit card, unless he was just carrying that loose, why would that? Also, we're going to watch another video in a moment where one of the guys that's been searching said they searched that area. So that's something else. Was that credit card put there afterwards? Because that area, before those girls, the TikTokers, the TikTok girls who have helped out with the investigation. I love that it was TikTokers that found the credit card, because it just shows you people can help. Anyway, we're going to watch a video of somebody else talking who says they searched that area thoroughly and there was no credit card, and then suddenly there was a credit card. So did somebody put that credit card there recently? Has that credit card only just been put there? So we're going to have a look at that in a moment. But yeah, how did Riley get from there to wherever he is now? So they said there's no evidence. How did they exactly put it? There was no evidence. There's no
close
CCTV.
To that Broadway bar scene there where he was last leaving the bar. You can see that was the exchange there with the National Police. A very brief one as they were investigating a Broadway bar scene there. I have now, of course, we did talk yesterday about.
Yes, so no video has been found. No video has been discovered that shows him away from Gay Street after the 9:52 p.m. time frame. So this is the dots that they're trying to connect, isn't it? At the moment, what happened between when he was on Gay Street and when whatever's happened to him has happened when he disappeared.
Live now from Fox. Of course, we did talk yesterday about police discovering the credit card, the debit card of Riley Strain near the Cumberland River, which goes very, very close to that Broadway bar scene there where he was last leaving the bar. You can see that was the exchange there with the National Police. A very brief one as they were investigating a separate issue there on that night. Some 10 days ago, Riley Strain, as the search continues for that college student from Missouri in Nashville there. As we're following this here on Live Now from Fox. Let's slide away for another quick 2-minute break.
Okay, so that was that video that I wanted to show you, the video of the actual body cam, the police body cam, and the policeman saying to him, "Hi, sir, how are you? Hi, sir, how are you?" or whatever, and Riley replies, "I'm good, how are you?" or whatever. You know, he doesn't seem too badly. You know, he manages to put a response together. "Hi, Amanda Jane, morning." So, you know, but the other CCTV, of course, does show him stumbling and he can hardly stand up. And I think there's more CCTV that the police haven't released yet. He seemed to be in conversation with other people. You saw like just the start of it, and then the police have cut it off. The police will be releasing bits and pieces of CCTV as and when it suits them, won't they? There's probably more to be seen. Okay, so now I want to look at this interview. Well, first of all, I'm going to read the article to you. About this text. So this is a video we're going to watch. Oops, we'll watch that in a moment. But missing Missouri student Riley Strain's last communication was an unclear text message he sent to a new girl he was seeing. She texted him to see how he was doing and if he was having fun. He sent a sort of, "Oh, here's Riley." He sent a sort of scripted text back to her saying, "Good lops." So she wasn't sure what that meant. I mean, I'm sure, you know what it's like if you've had too much to drink and you're trying to text. It'll either be predictive text or he's just, you know, press the wrong buttons completely. Perhaps he meant to say "good thanks" or something like that. You know, I just get this vision of a young lad, you know, his girlfriend or the girl that he's just started seeing texts him. He's out, he's absolutely off his head with his mates. And he's thinking, "Oh God, send something sensible, you know, send that." And he's trying to concentrate and ends up sending that. That's personally what I think happened. I don't think there's anything strange about it. I don't think it will be like anybody else necessarily sending that text for him. I think it just be him trying to send a sensible text and failing miserably, as you do when you're drunk. But anyway, Chris Dingman described the message as unclear slang. The girl had difficulty understanding its meaning, and she had to resort to searching online for clarification. And Dingman said it reflects Strain's mental state at the time. I think it just reflects that he's had too much to drink, probably, but who knows? The University of Missouri College senior vanished on March the 8th after reportedly being removed from a downtown bar. Authorities have been scrambling to retrace his steps in a bid to unravel the circumstances of his disappearance. So on Sunday, his bank card was discovered on the embankment of the Cumberland River. And as you know, I think that's strange. It was just found on its own without any other possessions. And on Monday, yesterday, newly released body camera footage shows his brief interaction with a Nashville officer on the night of his disappearance. And that's what we've just watched. So Dingman expressed gratitude for the release of the body camera footage, noting the warmth and politeness in his voice during the brief exchange captured in the video. So yeah, you could tell he was being polite, and he just comes over as a nice boy, a nice lad. you know, of course we don't know him, but that's just how he comes over in his photos, everything. He just looks like a very warm, genuine guy, and that brief interchange with the policeman just endorses that, doesn't it? So he said it was very warm and heartfelt for the family to hear his voice. So I'm getting emotional now because, yeah, it will be, because, you know, they'd probably they'll be dying to just hear his voice, you know, to hear his voice, to give him a big hug, to know that he's okay. You know, so that will have, you know, watching that video will have been sort of nice and comforting in one way, but distressing in another way. However, he raised concerns about the delay in releasing the footage, questioning why it took over a week for authorities to make it available. Fair enough, but I suppose it's possible that they didn't find it till then. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, he revealed that the family had been shown additional footage by the police, but the body camera recording marked the last known sighting of Riley. Nashville police reiterated there is currently no indication of foul play. However, Dingman expressed frustration over the lack of progress in the investigation, particularly in the light of the discovery of Strain's bank card in an area that had been extensively searched by volunteers. Well, you know, the police always get criticism, don't they, for delays or whatever, and they have to do what they have to do. They have to work at the speed that they can work at. They have to follow the you know, the guidelines that they have to follow. You know, it's but they always get criticism. But Dingman also highlighted the role of social media, particularly TikTok. So it's nice to hear TikTok being talked about in a positive way in the search efforts, applauding the platform for proving a crucial lead in the case. It's ironic that they are literally trying to ban TikTok right now, because of course they are trying to ban TikTok in the United States unless they let someone from America buy it. I mean, for God's sake, talk about free speech. Despite the uncertainties surrounding Riley's disappearance, Dingman remains hopeful for his safe return. We just want Riley home, he emphasised. He's a great kid. He has a lot going for him. And there he is doing the, you know, archetypal selfie that all young people do these days. They get ready to go. Not only young people, I do it too. Old people do it as well. You know, get ready to go out, take a nice picture while you're dressed up. You know, nobody takes a selfie when they look like crap, do they? They only take selfies when they look good, you know, and they're dressed up. There's some more photos here to look at. Yeah, there he is. He's just got a lovely face, bless him. He's just got very open look about him. Handsome boy, tall, 6'5". So that's Riley. Bless him. Yeah. So March the 8th he disappeared. We're on the 19th, so you're looking at 11 days now that he's been missing. Okay, let's have a listen to the video now. Just put the sound on.
Nashville police today, Chris, again said no indication of foul play. And that's the way, it seems they're being careful the way they word it, but they say no indication of foul play. What do you make of this? I mean, what are your thoughts at this point?
It's, I don't play poker well. It's very frustrating. His debit card was found in an area that we have been, everybody, hundreds of people have been in that area for 8 days. It's in an area that, you know, you think we would have seen something by now. We've had people in the water. We've had people on land. We've had people volunteer helicopters. You know, it just amazes us that it just happened to happen when it did, and we thank God it did, and those young ladies found it. They have been very, very open in helping us with this investigation.
Yeah, so it's nice to hear everybody applauding the two women that found the card. You know, the TikTokers, those terrible, ghoulish TikTokers, you know, they're normally reviled, aren't they? We saw that in the Nicola Bully case and lots of other cases of, you know, accusing TikTokers of this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure there are some vile TikTokers. There's vile people in every walk of life. But, you know, I think most people who are on social media in general, and they do tend to just, you know, it's the TikTok gets the most vilification because it's owned by China, you know, by some Chinese person probably. So whereas YouTube doesn't get the same vilification. But most people, you know, they're genuinely interested in missing persons cases. You know, and they can say it's for clicks or it's for this, that, or the other, but that's, you know, YouTube channels, that's what they do. They present things that people are interested in. And the same as the media, the mainstream media. You present news that you think people will be interested in. It's just, of course you do. You know, you don't present news that nobody wants to watch. You present news that people, you know, that people will be concerned about. And for me, this particular case of why I think this case of Riley, because there's probably quite a lot of, you know, there's loads of people go missing every day, aren't they? So why do some cases attract more attention? Well, it's attracting more attention because people can relate to it. That's what it always comes down to. You know, most parents have worried about their sort of, because Riley's like, he's not a teenager, but he's not a man either. He might, you know, he's like in that sort of Neverland, isn't he? Because he's 21, so he's still young, very young. And a lot of parents can relate to that, worrying about their sort of adult children. You think when your kids are young, oh, it'd be great when they're sort of, you know, older and they're sort of looking after themselves. No, that never happens. You never stop worrying. And in fact, you worry much, much more when they get older because you have no control over anything they do. They go away, they make their own decisions, which are always good decisions. We've all done it. I've done it too. So it's like talk about the circle of life. You think about what you did when you were that age and how your parents must have worried about you. And you just thought, what are they worrying about? You know, I can remember being completely dismissive of my parents worrying about me. And then the next thing you know, you've got a child of the same age and you're worrying about them and they're like, oh, sure up, you know, what you're going on about, what do you know? All the things that you said to your parents. So we all can relate to that for one reason or another, or we've got a brother or a sister or a niece or a nephew, or we've got somebody that we can see. So it's very relatable, this disappearance of a young man out with his friends, having too much to drink or whatever, and you know, getting lost or whatever's happened to him. So that's why it's attracted all the attention. So of course, you know, TikTokers are going to be interested in it, YouTubers are going to be interested in it, mainstream media are going to be interested in it. It's not through badness, it's through genuine sort of relatability and concern for this boy and his family. So yeah, so it's nice to hear the TikTokers being applauded rather than put down as usual.
But yeah, we have a lot of questions. Every piece of the puzzle we've been receiving, it leads us down 100 more questions. You know, we're no closer to finding Riley. We've asked for the TBI to be involved. I've even reached out to the FBI, Homeland Security.
You can see him here in the background. He is completely, you know, off his face, really. He's sweating, he's going all over the place. Now, I don't think he was as bad as that when he walked past that policeman, because I think that if he would have been quite as bad as that, I think the policeman would have paid him more attention. But the policeman just seemed to go, you know, good evening. And so he may have realised he'd had a bit too much to drink, but I don't think he was quite as bad as that, like, you know, falling over.
You know, it's nothing. I'm not trying to take a dig at what Metro Nashville's doing. I know they're doing with what they can. They're probably short-staffed, but more eyes, more people invested in this. We're 8-9 days in, and how does a 6'5", 6'6", blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy disappear? I mean, he literally disappeared.
Yeah, it
There's
doesn't-
no,
it-
I understand.
Yeah, he's a very distinctive guy, being 6'5", 6'6", so he's about the same height as my son. You know, you don't miss him when he's walking down the street, you know, because he's so tall. And the only, it's very rare that we ever see anyone that is taller than my son, and he always says, "Oh my God, I don't like it when someone's tall," because he's got used to being tall. When he was young, he hated being tall because he was like the odd one out at school. He always like was massive compared to, you know, the other kids would be sort of up to his chest, and he would look like the kid that had been held back for 3 years because he would always look like the oldest one because of his height. But of course, actually, he was the youngest in his class. So he didn't like it when he was young, and you know, got teased for being tall, and he had big feet, and they called him Titanic because of the size of his feet. These kind of things. But now he's an adult. He loves being tall because he's realised that it's good to be tall, you know, and girls like it, and he can reach things, and you know, he's come to terms with his tallness, if you like. Riley's a similar height, isn't he? So he's very distinctive. You would notice him. You know, he won't blend in the background as he would, and he's very slim as well. He's like got that Peter Crouch sort of look about him. So I think he is very distinctive, and people would remember if they'd seen him, wouldn't they?
No. And there's no DNA at
No,
the
I was
scene.
just going to say, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Like you said, sir, it doesn't add up, which is one of the reasons I think so many people are paying such close attention to the case. But you make a good point. I mean, we're not trying to make a dig at police here, but when you hear that it's TikTokers who are out there, volunteers who find his bank card on the riverbank now a week later, and not police early on, I mean, is that concerning to you and the family?
And yeah, I just want to pick up on something that Faye said. He could have been spiked, you know, because boys get spiked too. You know, it's a very common occurrence, isn't it? Maybe his drink was spiked because the bar is adamant that they only served him 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. Now, what he had before then, or whether he took a tablet, or, you know, we don't know, I suppose, until Riley is found one way or another. We'll only find out exactly what he'd taken that night, either from what he tells us, or if the worst comes to the worst, when he's, you know, unfortunately, if his body is found, then only an autopsy will tell us what was in his system. Which, of course, the longer it goes, that'll be harder to, the longer it goes before finding him, it'll be more difficult to establish what's in his system. But he may well have been spiked. He may well have had his drink spiked, because there's twonks out there that will do it just for the sake of it, not even, you know, not to a man, to a woman. They'll do it to anyone just because they think it's funny. You know, there's idiots out there that will do that. And I think this is very relevant that this guy is saying that they searched that area where those girls found that card and found nothing, and then suddenly it was there. Has someone put it there afterwards? You know, is it a decoy? You know, we've heard a lot of talks about decoy. You know, Riley might be nowhere near that area because, of course, now that that's been found, the police are searching that area, concentrating on that area. But Riley might not be anywhere there. May have been put there to detract police from looking in another place where they might actually find him. So it's certainly turning into, to me, it's looking more and more like there was foul play. The credit card, the card that was a debit card, actually, that is very suspicious, I think, you know, to just find that on its own. But I don't think Riley could have dropped that accidentally.
It is. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, very close friend of the family, but they are very concerned on what's actually going on right now. We thank the Lord. It's ironic that they are literally trying to ban TikTok right now, and they're literally the only ones that has provided us a solid lead 8-9 days after this has started. So there is bad sides to all type of internet.
Yeah, so you're saying it seems ironic that they're trying to ban TikTok right now, and they're the only ones that have provided a solid lead. And these are, I think this is one of those, because there's a lot of homeless encampments around there. So at the end of the day, if Riley was vulnerable, wasn't he? If he was staggering along like that and somebody saw him and thought, oh, he might have some money on him, I'm not blaming. It might not have been a homeless person. It could have been anybody, just some opportunistic robber, who just saw him and thought, oh, be easy to get his wallet. And maybe all they did was take his wallet. It could be someone stole his wallet. And then Riley sort of blundered on, and maybe Riley himself fell into the river. But somebody has stolen his wallet, and they're probably thinking now, oh shit, I've got his wallet, I've got his card, it's got his name on. Because don't forget, the card may be the only thing in there that's actually, unless he's got a driver's license or whatever, maybe like they'll have taken the money, that's for sure. They may have been able to do something with his mobile. But they won't want to get caught with the credit card on them, with the card on them, because that's got Riley's name on it, and that is a direct link, isn't it? So this is why robbers often, they will not take cards, anything with any proof of who that person is, because they don't want to be caught with that in their possession, because that's your direct evidence that you've had something to do with it. So you discard anything with the names on. But if he had any money in his wallet, that'll have gone, of course, and maybe they'll have been able to sell, I would, maybe they'll have been able to change the SIM card in his phone or whatever. But yeah, it could be someone literally who's robbed him, and then something might have happened to Riley after that.
I was actually on the phone trying a little with another TikToker when the young ladies found that. Had them send me a picture of it. I told them what bank he was with, etc. Unfortunately, we have been warned of the bad side of this, how people will want attention. They'll print fake plastic cards of people's identification, throw them in locations of crimes.
We've seen it before. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
What?
So
What do people really do? What is wrong with people? So people actually fake IDs and throw them in the locations of crimes. Oh, for God's sake, what is wrong with people? I just cannot. How could that even occur to you? Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll make this family's misery even worse. We'll print up a fake driving license and throw it next to a river. I mean, you just can't believe that anyone would do that. But they're saying that they've seen that before. How awful. What an awful thing to do.
Rallied the troops, the mom and dad. I did have them dial 911. I had them send me pictures of it, and instantly knew, wow, we have our first clue. And, it was amazing. We were so happy. And I told him, and you saw it in an interview, they were extremely nervous. I told him, I said, you're about to have 100 people instantly come to that spot because they were live. And I said, I need you to make sure nobody comes within 10, 20 feet of where you found that card, because we can't take a risk of jeopardizing a potential crime scene. They did not label it at that yet.
That was smart.
But,
So it's not been labelled as a crime scene. Well, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? So, yeah, the thing is, after those TikTokers have found that card, first thing the police really need to do is label it a crime scene, because otherwise, yes, a load of TikTokers are now going to descend on that area searching. So the police, it is now up to the police really to at least cordon off that part if they don't want people interfering. Thing is, if you don't cordon off areas, people do interfere. So, but whose fault is that? I think that, people think they can go to areas. If there's no police tape, they will go. And if there's police tape, they won't cross it. So the police have got to think about that themselves. This is turning into a bit of a shit show, isn't it, for the police even? Oh dear, and the people that will suffer from that are Riley's family.
And they were nervous, and they go, okay, and it was awesome. But we're very concerned. I wish we had more people looking in this, invested in it. We just want Riley home. He's a great kid. He has a lot going for him. He was 2 months out from living the American dream and starting, graduating college and being an investment career that he wanted to be in. Just how does somebody like that just disappear, especially when there's an officer within a half mile, quarter mile of that area looking for suspects and smash and grabs? You think if there would have been an altercation, which there has been some stories and unverified, he would have heard that because he's listening for, things going on with automobiles. There's the video of it right
course. Yeah, you'd think, like you said, the video that the officer was so close, which just adds to the mystery. I want to ask you real quick, Chris, do you know much about Riley's final communications? Have you had any access to his text messages or who he was talking to last?
We did. People, we've been trying to explain how much of a family-oriented Riley was. Riley actually talked to his mom an hour and a half, 2 hours before this incident. He's one of those kids that still loves his family just like ours did. That's why we love this kid. He was seeing a young lady that there was a recently new relationship, and she is literally the last person that we know that had any communication with Riley from the family. She texted him to see how he was doing, if he was having fun. He sent kind of a scripted text back to her saying good slops, or something like that. She said she even had to Google it. She didn't understand what that slang was. She thought maybe it was something new they picked up in Nashville. It was not new slang.
Wait, say that again.
Riley
what was it? I missed it. What did he text? Can you say it again? I didn't understand.
He actually, he texted her back. Instead of saying good time, he said good lops, like LOPS.
Good lops.
And which we were all confused. We're like, wow, what is that? And that just kind of shows the state of mind that he was in at that time. This is all within a 10-minute window of what you just seen, where he went missing.
So, sorry, I was just typing a message there. So, yeah, he's mentioned there about those texts. Let's just look at that again, what he says. So, again, oh, no, this is about Trump. Never mind. I think I've...
But we begin tonight with that breaking news out of Georgia. The good news for Fani...
Not this morning. Not in the mood for Trump. Okay, what we're going to look at now is Riley's LinkedIn profile. God, I was just on it. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Yeah, here he is. You should be able to see this now. Let me just check that it's coming up. Hang on. Let's see. So this one, share this tab. Right, it should come up now. Okay, so Riley, as they were saying, there you go, it's there now. Riley was just about to finish, wasn't he, at university. He's got himself on LinkedIn as a financial representative for Northwestern Mutual, 106 connections. Financial representative degree in financial planning and business. I love meeting new people. I am thrilled to announce that I have accepted a spring internship at Northwestern Mutual. I am honoured to join such a prestigious company and eager to contribute my skills to the Columbia team. I am excited to learn from, seasoned professionals and gain valuable experience in the financial industry. Thank you to everyone who supported me throughout the application process. I look forward to sharing my experiences with you. Oh, and he just looks so young, doesn't he? Bless him. Look, people welcoming him to the team. So this is a boy that was just on the brink of his adulthood, really, just finishing university, just about to start an internship. Look, he's worked as, this is his new job, but he previously worked as a food server. That's a waiter, I suppose, isn't it? At these different country clubs. Yeah. And these are his, this is his LinkedIn profile. He's just started it. I don't use LinkedIn much, but I know that some people do. he'd made some connections. He's got 106 connections on there, probably more than I've got after years of being on there, because I never ever used LinkedIn. But bless him, you know, so he's just starting off on his professional career. And now this has happened. So we can still, you know, to me, I think we can still hold out a little bit of hope. You've got to have hope, haven't you? But a little bit of hope, because could he be in a hospital somewhere? That's, you know, my hope, that he could be in a hospital somewhere, and maybe they just haven't found him yet. Let's hope so. But anyway, so yeah, the candle's burning for Riley. Let's hope he's found. Here's my Riley. Come here. Where's my Riley? There's my Riley. Let's hope he's found soon, and his parents, his family, get some sort of closure. Okay, so that's it. So I just wanted to give you that update about the police body cam, and the, you know, the sort of speculation about the card, the debit card, had it been put there afterwards, because that area had already been searched. And we'll see what transpires today, what happens today. So thank you so much for being here with me, as always. Now, I forgot to put my banner on earlier. I quite often forget. But yes, thank you. Thank you all for watching, liking, subscribing, and especially being members. And, you know, this week, as I say, if you want to know where I'm going on my mystery location, I'm off on my travels sometime very soon. Then I will be letting my members know. My members will be accompanying me on part of the journey, at least. And yeah, I'm quite excited about it. I'm hoping to make some interesting videos and maybe find out some things. So yeah, thank you. And thank you to those that have bought me a Ko-fi, sent me a super, or supported me in any way. Thanks for your emails. If you've got any information to give me, it's always better to email me on vickymariechats@gmail.com. And that's Vicky with an I. And although I can't always get to emails immediately, but at least once a day, I check my emails and I try to reply. So thank you so much. Have a brilliant day, or a brilliant afternoon, or a brilliant evening, depending on where you are and what you're doing. But have a good time. And until I see you again, may your God always go with you. Thank you.